anyways, I got my main man, finalmente, el estaque. Listen, man, my main man right here, man. Check this out, man. Ring got you. The man don't need no introduction. You know, I watch this guy every day. You know, this guy's fellow Capricorn. He's funny, the motherfucker. Ring got you. Shout out to my main man, Juelz. Let's give him a round of applause. Listen, whoa. Listen, it's gonna be hot today. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of talking. I'm gonna let my dog talk. Cause we know I run my mouth a lot, but I'm gonna let my dog talk, man. Anyway, listen, Juelz, how you doing, fam?
Oh, well, you know, I'm happy for Francis Ngannou. I think he acquitted himself well. I think that for a lot of people, this has been a year of exposing narratives because you know how I feel about Fury and what I've been saying about Fury. That it's cool that you lost all the weight. It's right. Cool that you did that and you came back and you fought Wilder. But it seems to me that especially the American media, they turned beating Wilder into being better than Joe Lewis, into being better than Muhammad Ali, and being better than Mike Tyson. And it's like that's a very broad leap. From beating Wilder to all of that is a very broad leap. And I'm just going to say that. Look, it's not that I think that Fury's a bad boxer. I'm not going to say that. You're not a bad boxer.
No, he's a good boxer.
But you're not an all-time great neither. Not for the Klitschko fight. And not for the Wilder fights. That's all I'm saying. So, I will say that for Francis Ngannou to have done as well as he did. My son is in the background. What you want?
What are you doing?
I'm on a live. Go play. Huh? All right. Now, for Fury to have, for Francis Ngannou to have done as well as he did, I think it's an indictment on Tyson Fury. There's no other way to look at it because if you are who they say you are and you are who you say you are, this man shouldn't be able to go 10 rounds with you. He shouldn't be able to go 5 rounds with you. So it's exposing that basically Fury is not who they say he is. He could be a good boxer. He could be a 2-time heavyweight champion, but he's not who they say he is.
Yeah, for me, it's the hyperbole, man. For me, man, like I got rid of a lot of these Tyson Fury crazies from this channel, Juelz, a couple of years ago. For me, it's the hyperbole. Like again, Tyson Fury is a great fighter. I can't take anything away from him. I never take anything away from him inside of the ring. He's a good boxer. I love the 2 fights. Probably the best fights that I've ever seen him have was this first and the second, the second and third fight with Wilder, right? Just in recent years. So he did great in that fight. But it went from that to this guy, and I understand Bob Arum maybe saying it, Frank Warren, especially Frank Warren. This guy can walk on water. He stick his hand in the sky and turn summer into winter and turn winter into summer and, all this stuff there, man. And the Ahoy there and the Shiver Me Timbers and, there's not a man that comes from his pappy's loins that's better than the Gypsy King and I'm better than Muhammad Ali and Joe Lewis and Frazier and, I'll beat George Foreman. Like, this is some of the stuff I was hearing that Frank Warren was saying. And I'm like, bro, I expect the Shandy Field Tyson Fury fans to feel that way. I get it. You get what I'm saying? But I'm like, bro, come on, man. What pissed me off when you go to disrespecting the greats. I'm like, dude, this dude ain't fought nobody but 2 people.
And that's where I got kind of annoyed with him. That when you think about Ali's resume, Liston, Patterson, Foreman, Frazier, Norton, Burbick, Holmes, it's like you're not going to see a resume like that again. So how do we turn an ugly ass fight with Klitschko that nobody goes back to watch? It was a horrible fight.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And 3 fights with the same guys. Like in other words, it's disrespectful to Ali. It's disrespectful to Larry Holmes. It's disrespectful to Sonny Liston. For y'all to give it to this man so easily just because he fought Wilder, who wasn't the man of his era anyway. He wasn't lineal. He wasn't Ring Magazine. He wasn't none of those things. So how do you allow the boxing media to turn beating Wilder into being greater than Ali or all these other people that came before him? And it's like now the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And I was already leaning towards Usyk to beat him before this past Saturday. I was already leaning in that direction because I'm like, outside of them Wilder fights, you never look like that. Think about it. Outside of them them two Wilder fights, you didn't even fight Dillian the same way that you fought Wilder. Now I ain't knocking him for beating Dillian. I'm saying with Wilder, you was stepping into your jab, you was being a bully, you was bullying him around. Whereas with White, you went back to your boxing. With Chisora, you went back to your boxing. And I just looked at him, I'm like, yo, all of this is centered around how he looked with one fighter. And because he bullied Wilder, he's better than Ali? Come on now, that's a very bold proclamation to make based on fighting a limited one-handed puncher who was not the man to beat anyway.
I mean, for me, that was the entire thing. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, right now, I just think it's disrespect to the greats. You guys are saying this and that. He's better than this guy. He's better than that guy. Based on, like you said, you beat Deontay Wilder. You fought Wilder 3 times. And let's be fair, Deontay Wilder is a very limited fighter. When people talk about Wilder, they never talk about his boxing skills. They don't talk about his footwork, Juelz. They don't talk about his defense, how he parries shots, how he roll with shots, how he can, his feints. None of that. They just say, hey, boy, he landed that right hand, boy. And then he got that right hand. That's it. So
it's like that uncle that tells the same joke at every cookout. Yeah, it was good the first time, but do you have any new material besides the right hand? Because the right hand not going to save you. Time has proven that power by itself, George Foreman had power.
Yeah.
Ernie Davis had power.
Yeah.
And Ali found a way around it. That's why Ali is great. Whereas Wilder, look, God bless him, his family and all of that. I'm not a Wilder fan either. But it's what I see that they did, which was a great con job, is y'all sought refuge in each other and turned fighting each other into the biggest heavyweight fight until Wilder himself said, they offered me more money to fight AJ than to fight you. Then why the fuck didn't you do that, you fucking idiot? Now you waiting for him to give you a call, and he got other shit to do. It's like, you can't make this up that, Wilder, you would have been better off not saying nothing than saying that, because you confirmed what people like Coach has been saying, what I've been saying, that Joshua versus Wilder was 10 times the fight that Fury was, but you picked the cherry in Fury. Everybody forgot you picked the cherry in Fury. You knew he was coming off of obesity. You knew he was coming off of cocaine addiction. And that's when you decided to fight him as an alternative to AJ. That's what you did. And all that happened is it blew up in your face that if the heavyweight division is in disarray now, it's actually your fault. Because you never had to give that man a title shot. He didn't earn one. Sefer Seferi, Francesco Pianetta. None of that made him mandatory to you. Those was just layup fights. So now if you find yourself in a predicament that you're in, where you want a big cash fight and you want to do something big and your options are scarce, all of that is your fault. You brought this clown show back to the heavyweight division.
Man, you know what? It's amazing you said that, bro, because that's exactly where I was going. I was like, listen, man. Juelz, I got to go here. But listen, I'm going to say this. This is for all the laptop revolutionaries who do skin color politics. You had 2 black fighters in Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. If the racial Olympics is your game and you want to see the brother man get ahead and get all his money, you had 2 brothers who one was undefeated WBC champion and the other one was the unified champion. I think he had the IBF, the WBA, and the WBO, and he had the IBO, for whatever that's worth, champion. Both of them was undefeated. Deontay Wilder, and it should have been Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fighting each other.
Yep.
But what happened was, and this is what I observed, in my opinion, Wilder had to play an angle that he did not have to play. He was pandering to a certain fan base on YouTube. Let's be real. I call these guys the Alphabet Boys. So he was pandering to the Alphabet Boys. They was coming with this laptop revolutionary, shea butter boxing, YouTube, Huey P. Newton-ish, Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed. They had to come with all of that. So, and the problem is this here, the reason why you're such a minority in the group because you divide yourselves. You attack anyone who looks like you, who don't agree with your monolithic thought, and then you attack other people who don't look like you. So it's like, it's such a small group of you, but Wilder chose to pander to them. he chose to be their leader, so to speak. And he went to talking all this, you know,
To this day.
you know, and all that stuff there, Radio Raheem.
Crop to go fight. Y'all fight.
You know, where there you go, Radio Raheem.
You just sit here, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I mean, just all this stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, playing the Radio Raheem, all this to this day. And, you know, your people too, bro. Your people too. And so everybody.
That's what makes it a cherry pick gone wrong, that Wilder, the angle that he chose would have been a good angle, right? Because it would have been a good angle if he won. But it was all predicated on Tyson Fury being a light punching heavyweight. People tend to forget because a lot of people didn't really become familiar with Tyson Fury until the Wilder fights. They knew of him, they heard of him, and they might have seen him a couple of times, but they didn't really know him. And his reputation was, this is a very big guy, yes, but he has a very nervous style of fighting. He's very herky-jerky. He moves around. As big as he is, he's really not big on power. And it seems that Wilder's plan and Shelly Finkel's plan was to try to make Wilder a self-sustaining organism that doesn't need a Joshua fight, because they didn't want to be the B-side to Joshua. The only way to do the fight would have been to be the B-side to Joshua, because he sells more than you do, generates more than you do, and if nothing else, he has more belts than you do. You didn't want to do that. You didn't want to make that sacrifice to be the B-side. Okay, so you bring over Fury, and you're telling yourself, well, Fury's just a light-punching cokehead. He's battling obesity. He's battling cocaine addiction. We should beat him easy, and when we do, we'll win over some of those Brits. We'll do what AJ didn't do. We'll beat Fury, you know, and we'll become lineal. And it seems like a solid enough plan on paper, but what you didn't factor into the equation is you're not a good boxer. You're not a good boxer. Yeah, you got a strong right hand and nothing else. That's all you got is that right hand. And if that don't avail you, you don't got nothing else to fall back on. So what made it a cherry pick gone wrong, you know, it seems like a solid enough plan on paper. But what you didn't factor into the equation is you're not a good boxer, bro. You ain't got no coordination. You ain't got no feet. You ain't got no jab. You don't slip punches. You don't roll punches. You don't rod punches. There's a lot of things that are missing from your toolbox. You looked at Fury as a dude who's in a weakened state. And if you need any confirmation of it, look at the second press conference. Look at what Wilder said out of his own mouth.
Yeah. You got pillow for fists. As a matter of fact, hold on, Jules. I got something for you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you want to hear what he said in the second press conference? Hey, Wilder, where you at? Where you at? I remember this here. Don't you ever forget. You know what I mean? Who brought you back to big time boxing? Remember that? Remember that?
Don't ever forget. When I found you, you was strung out on coke. When I found you, you was like a big house, contemplating about killing yourself. So don't you ever forget who brought you to big time boxing. I drugged you back. I brought you back. I provided food and put food on your table for your family to eat. And I'm doing it for the second time. So don't you ever forget that.
I remember that.
And this is what I mean. That I'm like, yo, the mess you find yourself in is a mess that you created, because Tyson Fury was not the mandatory to your title. You never had to give him a title shot. You gave him that shot voluntarily. And the only reason you did it was because you knew he was strung out on coke. You knew he was battling obesity and, I guess, depression, even though I don't believe his mental health bullshit.
I don't believe that shit either.
Let's just say it for argument's sake. You knew that he was in a weakened state, but you also knew he had a claim towards being lineal champion. And you also knew that him and Joshua got a rivalry going on. So you tried to capitalize off of that, and it blew up in your face. And hey, credit to Fury for playing the game. You played the game. You played Wilder. You played Al Heyman. Congratulations. But that does not make you an all-time great heavyweight. That does not make you the best of this era or any era before it. It really doesn't, because it's not like Wilder beat AJ. It's not like Wilder beat Ruiz. It's not like Wilder beat Usyk. So how does beating Wilder make you better than them? They ain't fought each other. It's divided still. So now that it's down to you and Usyk, and I'm going to say it now, they may not fight. I don't care what they're saying about the contract to sign. I'm starting to get a feeling that what he really want to do is run it back with Ngannou for another payday, except this time it'll be for the WBC title. I just have that feeling, because now they're giving Ngannou a rank. I seen Frank Warren say that at some point down the line he would like to fight him again. And you know me, coach. I don't trust him. I never trusted him. I don't trust Frank Warren. I don't trust none of this shit. I would sooner expect him to fight Ngannou again than fight Usyk. I just don't trust him to do this, because if you look at how he's been moving, people struggle believing that, yo, dog, this dude had a choice. In 2018, when he came back, he had a choice. He was talking to Sheila at PBC. He was talking to Eddie at Matchroom. Everybody knows the AJ fight pays better money and is for more belts. So why did you choose Wilder? Because he's more beatable. People they don't like the sound of that. I know people don't like the sound of that. They think about the Ruiz fight and the Usyk fight. All I'm telling you is, yo, dog, if this fight is for more money and this fight is for more belts, why are you fighting this guy?
But this is the thing, though, Juelz. Like, again, I commend him. Basically, what we're saying is Wilder's the one that brought Fury back. Fury was dead and gone for the most part, and Wilder brought him back to life, and the plan backfired. Now, so you're saying that there's doubts that he's the best heavyweight of this era, and I get what you're saying, because in order to determine who the best is, all of the top guys have to fight each other. Exactly. When you look at the Ali's, Ali is not considered the best because of what he said out of his mouth. He's considered the best because of what he did physically, what he did in the ring. He fought all of the monsters. He fought, you name him, he fought him. And even when he was the champ, you know what I mean? He defended his title against the top guys consecutively. You know what I mean? That 70s run, which that version of Ali probably wasn't better than his younger version, of course. But that run was brutal, bro. When I pulled up his resume and looked at the fights he had, just in the 70s, Juelz, at his age, I'm like, bro, that was brutal.
And they're trying to turn. Okay, so he fights Klitschko in a horrible looking fight. It's honestly one of the worst heavyweight boxing matches I've ever seen in my life. Turn that, and a 2-year hiatus after that. It's not even like you defended the belts or did anything. You literally disappeared for 2 years. You come back. 3 fights into your comeback, you get a title shot you don't even fucking deserve. You don't even fucking deserve it. You get it, and y'all turn that into him being the greatest heavyweight of all time or the greatest of this era. That's neither proven nor earned. As much as people want to cut that AJ kid and the man who beat him, as much as they want to cut them out of the picture, AJ, Usyk, Andy, they're a part of that picture. And Wilder ain't fought Andy. Fury ain't fought Andy. Wilder ain't fought Usyk. Fury ain't fought Usyk. Wilder ain't fought AJ. Fury ain't fight AJ. So until that circuit is closed, there is no best heavyweight of this era. They have to fight. For us to know this is the dude, this is the guy. When the smoke settled, this was the last man standing. They have to fight. It's very simple, and it's always been that way. I'm not changing the rules. Coach is not changing the rules. It's always been that way. Why is Crawford the man at 147? He's the only one with all the belts. He's the only one with all the belts. Ain't nobody else there with belts. No other champions. The same applies to Canelo. The same applies to Jermel, even though, you know, he did what he did at 168. He's still a man at 154, right? Yeah. It's the way he's supposed to go. And what hurts the sport of boxing is when it stops behaving like a sport. I don't want to hear the business of boxing bullshit. We are here with our money for sports. So let it be a sport and let them two motherfuckers fight. Then Fury could fuck off and do whatever he wants to do. He could fight John Bones Jones. He could fight Francis Ngannou again. He could fight a dancing bear. But you got to let them fight, because what's really hurting boxing in the American boxing scene is y'all don't want to let it be a sport. I never have to wait for the World Series. I don't have to wait till next year for the World Series. I don't have to wait next year for the fucking playoffs. I don't have to wait next year for the fucking Super Bowl. It's one every year. So let the fucking sport be a sport, because that's what we here for. We're not here for the song and dance and the dancing bear. Now you got people looking at Fury sideways because you hurting your own legacy with that silly shit on Saturday. Most motherfuckers was picking you to beat Usyk. Now they not so sure because you just let a novice go in there and put you on your ass. If a novice could do that, dude never boxed under the hot lights before. No professional boxing matches. All he got is octagon shit. Now they looking at you funny. Now they're looking at the sport funny. You delegitimizing the sport of boxing, and the powers that be are letting him, which is crazy. Like, yo, you want this sport to look like a fake sport so y'all could keep hyping up this piece of shit? I can't wait for Usyk to fight him. I'm just wondering if it's going to happen.
You know what? I'm having, I'm kind of having doubts about it. Like when people told me that, hey man, Fury's gonna be fighting Usyk next and this and that. And I say this all the time over here. I don't believe anything that's dealing with Tyson Fury until I physically see him in the ring. Exactly. Because this guy is such a massive liar. And people say this time and time again. How do you know Tyson Fury is lying? When he's moving his lips. Yeah. So I can't take anything away from him being the boxer inside of the ring. He's a good boxer. But the dude lies so much. Now I found the video online where he said, well, if Usyk has no choice but to fight me, if he tried to get out of the fight this year, he can be sued for breach of contract. Then after the Ngannou fight, where he got a black eye and looking all black and closing and stuff like that, he says, I see you guys next year. So I'm like, hold on. Okay, are you fighting Usyk this year or next year? And again, when you're dealing with Tyson Fury, you just never know. Like, you never had to worry about this with a Tyson, or Holyfield, or Riddick Bowe, or Lennox Lewis, or Salvador Sanchez, or Ali, or Hagler. Any of those guys. You never, Julio Cesar Chavez. You ain't never, Canelo. You ain't never got to worry about this with any of these guys. But when it comes to this guy, you can't get excited about him a fight announcement of him, because they're like, man, I don't know, man. We gotta wait, see if this dude gonna show up.
Because it's all angling. Like, look, I'm not gonna say he's the great white hype. The man can fight. He can fight. Yeah. He beat Klitschko. He can fight. It was an ugly fight, but he could fight. And he beat Wilder. Awesome, right? But the shit is, he's just not as good as they say he is. And I maintain that throughout, that it's not that he's a bad fighter. It's just that he's not as good as they say he is. And they have spent a lot of time and a lot of money hiding that. How do you get away with fighting Derek Chisora again last year? You could have fought Makhmudov. He was on your undercard. You could have fought a lot of guys that's around. You could have fought Frankie Sanchez. He's unbeaten. He want to fight. I'm sure if you offered Frankie $1 million, he would have took it. He would have fought you. They let him get away with this stuff. They let him get away with fighting fucking Chisora. They let him get away with contradicting himself in front of everybody. How is it a breach of contract if Usyk don't fight you on December 23rd, but now you saying you're not going to see him till next year? Isn't that a breach of contract? And once again, they let him get away with it. So the boxing media needs to do better to hold his feet to the fire. Instead of asking him softball questions and what he ate for breakfast and how's the kids, ask him, how was it a breach of contract? You said that if Usyk don't fight you on the 23rd, it's a breach of contract. But now you're telling us that you're not going to see us till next year. So what happened?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's amazing. So I really don't know with this guy. Again, I don't take anything from him as a fighter. I think some of his fans are a little bit too much for me. A lot of them unsubscribed from my channel. I'm glad they did. I really am happy they are. Don't miss them at all. But it is what it is. Like, this guy Juelz is, he gets dropped by this guy. And now, as a matter of fact, hold on, Juelz. Let me read the super chats. He say, shout out to Mr. Calderon. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He say, coach and ring IQ, pound for pound, best channels on YouTube. Oh yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Mr. Calderon, salute, fam. Shout out to the boxing historian. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He say Fury and Wilder weren't shit to me. These guys wouldn't have even lasted in any previous eras. He said contrived careers, the both of them. All right. yeah, Brian been killing me on that. Shout out to Country. What's up, man? Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub. He say what's good, he coach and Juelz. He say Fury embarrassed himself in boxing. It's not what boxing needs right now with the fall of Showtime and the chaos. Okay. And shout out to Super G. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a dub. He say, who do you think has more power between Ngannou and a Jogba? I mean, I don't know.
I would say Ngannou. If he has anything, he has power. If he has anything, he has power. But I don't think he has better form than a Jogba. I do think he has more killer than a Jogba. That I don't want to take Francis Ngannou down a peg, because what he did was very courageous. Right. Come to a different sport and fight the number one guy, even though they made it worth your while with all that money. He deserves credit for what he did, because I believe he's a more consummate professional than Tyson Fury. Where Ngannou is taking the assignment seriously, Fury is not. And that's Fury in a nutshell. They want him to be like a Babe Ruth kind of guy. That he'll come in with a hangover, did a couple of lines of coke, and still win the fight. He ain't fucking Babe Ruth, man. He's not fucking Babe Ruth. He's not Rocky Marciano. He not none of that. He's a big fucking doofus who Wilder brought back into the game because he didn't want to be the B-side to AJ. It really is that fucking simple. Wilder created this mess. If not Wilder, this man don't get a title shot because he would have had to go through the ranks to get one. And he was going to bump into somebody that would have took him out. The reality is the last 4 to 5 years, they've been carefully maneuvering Tyson Fury so that they could sell him because, look, he is marketable. He's more marketable than a Usyk because he speaks good English. So you could sell him to the Brits. You could sell him to the Americans. You know he can't shut the fuck up. He loves the microphone. So you see the strategy. But in reality, while he's a good fighter, and he is a good fighter, he's not a great fighter. Nah, I don't believe that for a second. I think there's a couple of guys out there already that would beat him. I don't know if he could beat Zhang because he doesn't like southpaws. I don't know if he could beat Usyk because he doesn't like southpaws.
See, this is the thing, right? The only way, and this is any comeback sport, but definitely boxing. How it works is this: the only way you're going to know who the best fighters is, especially if you're saying these top guys, they have to fight each other. And the problem that I have, Juelz, is this: I hate in this era of boxing fans. I call them social media boxing fans, right? Because what they love to do, they like to shit on old school fighters. Oh, they ain't making no money. They broke. They didn't do this. They had to do that. But then in one breath, but then they like to compare these new booties to the old school era. Yeah, if Fury was, they'll defecate on Ron Lyle. They'll defecate on Ernie Shavers, Larry Holmes, all these guys. Fury he's better than all of them. Wilder knock all of those guys out, right? In one breath, so they'll defecate on them. But then in another breath, they'll compare themselves to them and say we greater than them. And I'm like, dude, you ain't go through what they went through. The criteria.
Wilder was gassed out in the third Tyson Fury fight. Wilder was literally gassed out after one round. This guy's fish food in the 15-round era. In fact, most of these guys, the only fighters I could think of that would make it in the 15-round era that are running around right now, Terrence Crawford, Alexander Usyk, and maybe Inoue. Maybe. And it's because he finishes his fight so fast that, well, I don't need the other fucking 14 rounds. I might stop this guy in one. Yeah. And when you think about Wilder's a fighter who doesn't skip rope, who doesn't do road work, but he would have made it in the 15-round era. Larry Holmes beats this man. In fact, I think an inspired Burt Cooper off a couple of lines of coke would beat this man. Wilder's not an all-time great. Fury's not an all-time great. I'm sorry. Till an undisputed champion emerges out of this era, there is no all-time great. Ain't one.
And see, this is the thing, right? Like I say, it was a different era. Like again, back then, you couldn't afford you couldn't duck people. You couldn't strategically cherry pick through the tree and I'm gonna avoid this guy, I don't need him, and everybody automatically know. Like this is the era to where you don't have to fight the guy because my fans, everybody automatically knows I'll beat him. You get what I'm saying? Like where they do that at? Like when if Hagler never had to fight somebody because we automatically know what the outcome is going to be? When if Sugar Ray or Julio Cesar Chavez or doggone Antonio Marco Barrera, you know what I mean? Or Marquez or any of these guys that came, Lennox Lewis, or we ain't got to fight these guys. We automatically know I win. So in this era, they automatically give you that victory for fights that you haven't even had because we know what'll happen. It doesn't work that way.
And this is why this is why this is the worst era. While the sport is the weirdest thing because the sport has grown globally. Around the world, the sport is now bigger than it ever was. Yeah. But in America, it's shrinking. And coincidentally, in America, this is what is going on. You look at a fighter like Inoue, for example. This dude just did undisputed last year at a lower weight. He's doing it again this year. But we can't get Tank Davis to fight Devin Haney. It won't happen. We can't get him to fight Shakur Stevenson. It won't happen. This is what's wrong with the American boxing scene. We got it in our heads that, well, not us, not me, not you, but some American fight fans have it in their head that because they really fucking like a guy, he shouldn't have to fight people. Then what the fuck are you watching this sport for? You don't want to see him fight Devin Haney. You don't want to see him fight Teofimo. You don't want to see him fight Shakur. You want to see him fight Isaac again.
I mean, that's where we at now. And what I realize is, I say, you know what, the boxing fans are really not. Basically, what's going on is you have the casuals or the new boxing, the social media boxing fans. Those are the guys now. And people like me and you, we dinosaurs. You know what I mean? And they're trying to tell us
boomers. They call us boomers and shit because we old.
Yeah, they're trying to tell us, oh man, you know, that's the old school. You ain't gotta fight the best in order to be considered the best. It's about TikTok and how many subscribers I got on TikTok, how many likes I got on my picture on Instagram, how am I popping? You know, what type of car I have. Am I in the club getting litty? Am I pop? You know, get what I'm saying? It's a popularity contest.
I want to address what Yarmis said. It is on the fighters because the only reason Stephen fought in 40 Nui is because he fucking wanted to. Al Heyman wanted him to go up to 126 and fight Brandon Figueroa again. Rumor has it he said no. I want Inoue. That fight only happened because the fighter wanted it. Spence, he could have fought Keith Thurman at 154. They gave him that option. He said no. I'm not no bitch. I'm gonna go fight Crawford. Win or lose, I'm gonna go fight Crawford. So it is on the fighters. It is because those people work for you. The manager worked for you. The promoter worked for you. And if you want to fight, you're going to fight. If Gervonta wanted them people, he'd be fighting them people. If he's not fighting them people, it's because he don't want to fight them people.
I mean, they say it all the time. They say, you hear the what's my main man name? Tom Brown. He say, man, and Stephen Espinosa. Well, you know, in essence, fights happen when the fighters want to fight. If the fighters really want to fight each other, they make it happen. You know what I mean? So
that's what he said at the press conference for Porter versus Crawford. That's literally what he said.
That's what he said,
fight, they're going to fight. So you need to ask yourself, what are you really supporting? What are you even watching for? If you like the Lomachenko fight, forget it, bro. That's old fucking news, bro. We've been hearing the same bullshit about Davis and Lomachenko since 2017. It's safe to say that fight is dead. Lomachenko's on his way out anyway. He probably ain't got but three or four more fights, if that. But you got contemporaries, young American fighters, good ones like Shakur Stevenson, good ones like Devin Haney, good ones like Teofimo Lopez. You see Big Stepper Devin going up to 140, fighting a hard puncher, full belt, his first fight at the weight. Why is Gervonta not doing that? Why are we pretending, not us, why are people pretending that Mario Barrios is a somebody or Isaac is a somebody? He's fighting a bunch of fucking nobodies. That's all he's doing.
All right, we finna drop the phone lines in a few minutes. Shout out to Pete Gary.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He say no other champion will get away with exhibition fight against a fighter making pro debut. Should have been made drop. Should have been made drop belt. Well, you know, Floyd Mayweather did it. They did it with Floyd Mayweather. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
hey, we're gonna go.
Floyd waited till he was. I'll give Floyd this. He waited till he was retired before he did the dumb shit. He didn't have a belt when he fought McGregor. He was done in boxing. He did the Berto fight. He was done. Whereas Tyson, and this is the shit I'm saying, you literally have a belt right now and they letting you have an exhibition match. That's crazy.
All right, but listen, we finna get ready to drop these phone lines. We're gonna take a short station identification break, Juelz. When I come back, we are dropping the phone lines. We want to sit back and accept some phone calls. Let the people call in and see what's up.
What's my name? My name is nobody, and I don't live nowhere, and I don't know nothing. I don't know because I know that you gon' tell God on Jesus, kiss a Judas, silver pieces, monkeys acting in the monkey show. Gangsta monster killer, silverback. Where is your rap sheet? That you never explains, moving fast, thinking slow. Dummy clown, silly Billy, need a hug, thugs on drugs, monkeys acting in the monkey show.
All right, we finna get ready to drop the phone lines in a minute.
You wanna talk some shit? Call me. Start some shit, bitch.
Sup, fool? You gonna talk shit about me, homie? Where you from?
Hundreds of niggas is waiting for your motherfucking call, and they all talking shit about you right now.
Call the coach at 530-494-9636. We waiting on your bitch ass. And we do not want no cream corns called on the show, man. Please, man, no cream corns.
Yep, that's right. I'm running things. Cream corn. That's why they call me that. Smooth. I got more measure for your pleasure. Stick with me, baby. I'll have you farting through silk. And let a nigga mess with me. I'll jump on him. All 93 pounds of pure dynamite.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Jamie from New York.
Jamie from New York. Talk to me, fam.
Hey, salute, guy. Coach, that's why I say boxing is a shit show. And Fury is a joke. This man had no business going to distance with you. You know, you're the heavyweight lineal champion, right? And coach, let me tell you, I wasn't going to watch the fight, but then I hear that I think 2 judges have Fury winning, and the rest of the world saw it otherwise. Once I heard that the brother won, I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot, and I did. And let me tell you, coach, Fury is lucky that left hand did not land flush on that chin, because he would have been out of there, coach. What do you think about that?
You know what? Somebody sent me the link, so I still saw the highlights. I think I saw maybe 2, 3, 4 rounds, all the way up to the 3rd round when he dropped him.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? That left hand didn't land clean. If it would,
no, it didn't. It did not.
He caught him in between the 1 and the 2. That's what it was. I don't know if
exactly.
I don't know if he was hurt, but it was between the 1 and the 2. That Fury went for the 1. He got caught with the left in between the 1 and the 2, and he looked like he was off balance. But it wasn't a clean punch, because if it was, Fury probably don't get up. Probably.
Yeah. And another thing, coach, I tell you, you know, this man, you know, he never threw a punch in a professional boxing match, you know, and look how good it looked. You know what I'm saying? He looked good doing this, trying, whatever. And let me tell you, coach, this shows me that Deontay Wilder ain't shit, because he couldn't do anything with Fury. At least this guy put up a good fight. You know what I mean? So had this guy trained more, maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, he would have beaten Fury, man. Because Fury, I don't know what the fuck happened to him, coach. The man in the past could fight. Don't know what happened. I don't know what's going to happen when he faces Usyk. I still got Usyk. You know what I'm saying? But, coach, again, bro, this guy's been ducking Usyk and the top guy, you know, the top guys in the heavyweight division for a reason. This is a cherry pick gone wrong. We all know it. He needs to stop lying to himself. And let me tell you, bro, he's on his way out, man. Any of these young guys is going to beat him. And that's it. I got Usyk, coach. That's my call.
All right, shout out to Jaime from New York. Juelz, hold on, let's get the super chat out of the way. Shout out to Doughboy. He said, do you think Floyd made boxers protect their own? No. I think Floyd is a scapegoat for a lot of stuff, but Floyd ain't got no effect on these boxers like that. If these fighters don't want to fight, they don't want to fight. Can't put that on Floyd, you know what I mean? But yeah, so my thing is this, Juelz. So now, after this fight, as you said, you got an old school criteria. These guys have to fight each other in order for us to come to the determination or the conclusion of who's the best. That's how it works. And you can't be comparing yourself to the old school guys if you're not doing what they did. You can't compare yourself to them in one breath and then shit on them in the next breath and then say you the greatest thing since hog head cheese, but you ain't fought no damn body. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin, talk to me.
Yeah, coach. I think too much is being made about Francis coming from another sport into boxing. The reality is you got this dude who's been fighting MMA for 10 years. He's a striker. He's not a wrestler, which means his skill is primarily throwing punches. The dude has Dewey Cooper as a trainer who trains boxers. So it's easy for a guy that's been around you for years to help you make that transition, not to make you a perfect, flawless fighter. Because at the end of the day, you got to look at it for what it is. You got a guy basically throwing a Hail Mary every punch. What was amazing about what Francis was able to do was he went 10 rounds with this man, and he fought the perfect, smart fight because he said, fuck that. I'm not going to stand here and hang with this dude because he's going to catch me. I'm going to wait. I'm going to catch him with a counter. That's all he did the whole fight. He just waited for Fury to throw a punch, and he kept countering. He fought the perfect fight for this situation. He deserves all types of credit. I hate to be a hater, but to me it was kind of like Wilder fought more not to lose than he did to win, which is why he threw a record low punches. I don't think I had more than 10 punches the whole fight. But
Your
it's
phone,
true though.
your phone
You know,
breaking
these
up,
guys.
your phone breaking up, and it sounds like you in the hallway, man. I don't know, you probably got them on the
Oh,
Bluetooth or something, but
nah, it's fucked up reception right here by the freeway. I'm chilling at the house. But yeah, I mean, you know, Francis did his thing. Fury, like I said, he came not to lose because he didn't want to fumble the bag with that, you know, Usyk fight, and unfortunately he did because I seen an interview with Francis this morning, and he said, "Look at my face. I can't fight in December, so for goddamn sure, Fury ain't fighting in no fucking December." But that's all I got, Coach.
all right, shout out to my main man Martin from Oakland. Hey, Jules. So this is another thing I wanted to say. There was everybody. I'm not upset about what happened, who won, and stuff like that. But let's be real. If there is any truth to Fury having a contract to sign Alexander Usyk next for the bag for Undisputed, you know goddamn well outside of him being knocked out, he wasn't going to lose that fight.
Oh yeah, I mean, but at the same time, who did we hear? Who did we hear that there's a signed contract from? We heard it from Fury. Who did we hear that it has to be on the 23rd? We heard it from Fury. So it's like you got to take everything he says with a grain of salt. That if that's true, because this is what he said before the fight, that it got to be on the 23rd or it's a breach of contract and Usyk gets sued. Okay, if that's true, that would also apply to you. And based on the pressure that Usyk is now putting on you, it's either that's true or it's not. And I'm going to lean towards, no, it's not. That's not true. Y'all don't have the date set yet. Y'all never did. In fact, I would go as far as saying is maybe it's not y'all intention to do that fight. Maybe it's not. Because why do that, right, with Usyk when we can make a fuck ton of money fighting Ngannou again? We'll make more money and it's a safer fight. I'm of the opinion that, and I've been of the opinion that maybe Fury's done with competitive boxing against boxers. And maybe what he want to do is fight the John Bones Joneses of the world and the Ngannous of the world. Because it's very hard to imagine. I hope they fight. I hope they do as a boxing fan. But it's very hard to imagine that fight is actually going to take place. Behind that performance, you just look like shit. With a dude that never boxed before, you just look like shit. Now you about to fight a dude that then spent most of his life boxing. Olympic gold medalist in the amateurs. Undisputed at cruiser. Unified Ring Magazine at heavy. And you looking like shit. You about to fight him? Okay, I gotta see it to believe it.
All right, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Coach? Yarmis from Brooklyn, man.
Yarmis, talk to me, fam.
Hey, man. Yo, I'm just wondering, where are you from? You got like a New York accent, Jersey accent?
I'm from Harlem, bro. I'm from Harlem.
All right. Yo, I just want to talk about the Fury fight a little bit. I think, everybody should give this guy some credit, man. He fought a hell of a fight, man. I'm not a huge Fury fan, but, this guy, he looked sharp in there. I'm not going to lie, his conditioner was there. And, if that hook don't graze his shoulder, he's still on the ground right now, man. And, his career might be over, man. This motherfucker got huge power, good conditioning. His footwork looked good. I think this guy was sharp. I'm not saying Fury's the greatest fighter ever. I'm saying give this guy some credit for what he did. And as far as guys not fighting and taking that submission, we paid these motherfuckers 8 digits to fight motherfuckers that they don't even think is a threat. Why wouldn't they, man? I'll fight my little brother for fucking $1 million rather than fight somebody that could beat me for 100,000. I can't really argue with this. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather fighting McGregor. Hell yeah, he made fucking $200 million. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. And I agree with my man with Jules, right? I agree with him when you say, he think that Usyk fight, the way he looked in that shit, he's gonna have a huge issue with him, man. The footwork, the skills, like he said, he's an Olympian, he got the pedigree. He's going to have huge problems. I see him avoiding that, getting some more of this money elsewhere, and that'll be that. I'm not even going to lie. Hey, Coach, I'm end on this, man. I'm loving this show. Have this dude on again, man. I'm really enjoying this, man. So, I would love to see y'all come out and do something, man. Peace and love, Coach.
All right, salute, fam. Sounding down from New York. Salute, fam. Yeah, I think he's missing the point. I think he's missing the point. We understand what it is. If you're gonna fight for an exhibition, and Carla, hold on. If you're gonna fight an exhibition, get your money, fine. But my thing is, you can't have it both ways. You can't be the greatest fighter in the history of boxing, but you haven't fought any of the guys you haven't even fought all of the guys in your era that's supposed to be the top guys. So that's not how this works. You don't get to be the top guy because you had 3 fights with one guy, and then you beat an old Vladimir Klitschko in a snooze fest, and you wouldn't rematch him. You got popped dirty with Nandalone. You wouldn't rematch the guy, so you retired, and then you went to holler about you had mental health issues and this and that, all because you didn't want to rematch this guy.
And that's
what I mean.
That's the beef that I got with him. That if you want to fuck off and do exhibitions and get your
Ain't
money,
nothing wrong with that.
get your money, but let the title go. Let it go. So 2 other men that do want to be champions, that do care about that, let them do their thing. You do your thing. And, we know why he's doing it. He's stringing the boxing fans along because if you vacated that title, your marquee value is going to go down a little bit because you're not a champion. You don't got the prestige of saying, I'm the WBC champion. I'm that guy. That's why he don't let the belt go. And that's my issue. If he would let the belt go and go fuck off. Go fight a dancing bear. Do what you want. I wouldn't care. But you got that belt. You holding up undisputed. That's the problem.
You know what? Hold on. We got another call, Jules. Caller, what's your name when you call it from?
David, Memphis.
Your phone sounds like it's kind of faded, fam. Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, David, Memphis.
David, Memphis?
Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, David from Memphis, talk to me.
Yeah, hey, Coach, I think what happened, the Tyson on Fury, if you notice and watch, I went back because I watched the fight, several times, and what I did, I mean, he won the fight. I scored it 6-4 or either 7-3, but I went ahead and it had 4 rounds. But I had the third for sure, on the knockdown, then the 8th and the 10th I had for certain, for sure on ngannou. But I went ahead. And, I see the way I look at it is, if you watch the fight, Tyson didn't have no footwork. His footwork was flat, and his timing was off. His timing was off, man. And I mean, now to his credit, he wasn't making no excuses. I saw him, the interview afterward, and he said, "Hey, just blame me. It's, I'm off night or whatnot." And he wants to, to go ahead and fight Usyk and all of that. And I know that the fight, this is a contract there, but ain't that December 23rd date? That ain't confirmed. That's just bullshit people talking. They're both of them. That date is not concreted in, and what they're gonna do, they're gonna be around January, February. They're going to come out. I mean, because you know what? He ain't going to come back and run a damn thing back, man. I mean, in those 6 weeks. I mean, come on, player, get real.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't see that happening either. And again, anytime we dealing with Tyson Fury, who he fights, you just never know. We got to wait till we see get in the ring because, as he said before, now they scrubbed this video from the internet, but there was a video where Tyson Fury was at a MGK Global event, I think it was on the Sky Sports or whatever. And he's been interviewed. This one he was looking slim, and he was being interviewed, and they was asking him about when is he going to fight AJ or what's going to happen with Wilder. And he said, "Well, you just never know with me because when I'm lying, people think I'm telling the truth, and when I'm telling the truth, people think I'm lying." So I think that's just what it is. Like people just want some straight answers when it comes to this guy, and you don't never get them with him. But David, thank you for calling the show, man.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. All right, bye-bye.
Yes, sir. You too. Memphis, stand up. Yeah. So, Jules, do you think? And again, I'm gonna tell you guys like this here. I'm not gonna take anything away from Tyson Fury as a boxer. He's a good boxer. It's just for me the hyperbole, the way things work in boxing, the way it's always worked, the way it works in any comeback sports. You have to fight those other guys and those other top guys, right? So if you have a belt, okay, you can say you're the champion because you have the lineal title and stuff like that, the ring and all that stuff there. I get that, but a lot of these guys to me is just title holders, because so many belts now, and everybody's a champion now. Okay, you got to consolidate all of the belts, or at least get most of them in order for me to consider you a champion. And for you to be a champion, who you fight plays a part in that as well. You get what I'm saying? Like Rolly Romero. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, Jules. I can't call Rolly Romero a champion. He's a title holder, but is he a champion? Hell no.
He ain't no champion. He ain't no champion.
You get what I'm saying? So I mean, it's hard for me to really call some of these guys. Now I can't say you're no champion, dog. You're a title holder, but we got some more super chats, Jules. Shout out to Iffy. Okay. Dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy. He said Fury has the best padded record in the heavyweight boxing after Wilder. Fury is protected. The McDermott fight, he lost, but he got gifted. Showed this. Okay. Shout out to the Odd Father. Dropping that. Bam, dub. Hey, Leroy. Hold on, guys. Super chat. We got, hey, Jules, the phone line's hot right now. Hold on, caller, hold on. He say salute from the UK, Coach and Jules, two of my favorite YouTubers. He said real boxing knowledge being displayed. The Furies are carnival. You say the Furies are carnival grifters, and they have been for years. You know what I mean? I like John Fury, believe it or not. I know you guys. I like John Fury. He talks a lot of trash. He's like a lot of these boxing dads out there. John Fury is funny, and you know, but his son is not what they hyping him up. I'm like, he's a good fighter, but but let's be real. Let's keep it in its proper context. He beat old Vladimir Klitschko in the snooze fest. Grab and jab. That was all it was. Grab and jab the whole fight, and then he dunked him in the rematch, and then he beat Wilder twice. He had a trilogy with Deontay Wilder. That's literally what happened. You know what I mean? So, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Graham, Baltimore. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Troy from Bmore. I'll talk to
who that is. I know who that is. Go ahead,
what's
bro.
Up? What's up, Jules? What's up? How you doing?
Chilling. Long time.
Let me start with. I know, brother. I've been chilling. Let me start with Fury's dad. He's the perfect example of someone who knows how to shovel shit and tell you it's sugar. Right? That's his gift. That's what he does. And the fight Saturday proves all along what I've always said. This guy only looks good against certain fighters. I mean, he fought a novice just like all of you are saying he did. And he got dropped and he couldn't take him out. And he's not coming back in December after this. I guarantee you 100% he's not going to fight Usyk because the only fighters he looks good against are fighters who can't box, a la Chisora and Wilder. You saw what happened to him when he fought the other boy. What's the white cat that he fought who bloodied his eye and all that?
You can't forget about Dillian White. You saw what he did to Dillian White.
Oh, Dillian White. He stopped Dillian White.
I know that's your boy now, Troy.
No. I actually forgot about that. I actually forgot about it. Listen, he stopped
Dillian. Since when did stopping Dillian mean so much? When Povetkin stopped Dillian, and nobody was saying he's the greatest heavyweight of all time when he stopped Dillian.
That's right. I mean, listen, I'm always going to be a fan of White. It's never going to change. I don't care how many times people say he got knocked out or whatever, but he comes back. I just respect the dude that he is. I don't think he's a great fighter, but I respect the dude that he is. But the thing is that Usyk fight is never going to materialize because he does not do good against boxers. Who's the dude that cut him over his eye and bloodied him off?
The Swedish guy, Wallin. The Swedish guy.
Wallin, yeah.
Yes, right. Usyk is a better boxer than him. He's not going to beat Usyk. And then this fight with this whisper that's going on now with Wilder fighting Francis Ngannou, we speed this up. That's not going to happen either because for two reasons. One, Wilder's going to price himself out, and in his entire career, he's never fought a knockout artist.
That is so true.
He's a heavyweight who's never fought a knockout artist. So why is he going to fight this guy over here that could take him out with both hands? Just by chance.
That is a good.
He's going to price himself out. Now, watch this before I jump off it. His podcast bullies are going to start saying, oh, well, this fight's not going to happen because of a white man, and they're going to question they're going to start questioning his blackness, his Africanness, and all that, and start talking their foolishness. This fight will never happen. Bless up yourselves, fellas. I'm glad to see y'all together.
All right, shout out to Troy, man. Salute, fam. Be more, stand up. I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see. So, Jules, what say you about who is the forget the great. I think we can agree that Tyson Fury is not the greatest heavyweight of all time. We know that's some bullshit, right? We know that's something that a lot of his fans say who coming out of the pub right now who drank the whole pint of shandies and right about 10 pints of shandies, and that's what they feel, right? But outside of that, the greatest heavyweight of this era, Tyson Fury does have a lane. He has an opportunity to establish his dominance in this era right here amongst the heavyweights. But who are the guys that he needs to fight in order to do that?
I mean, the thing with Fury is it's almost like he's been at the door all this time because, okay, you ended the Klitschko era. That is your claim that you ended that era. The problem is in the subsequent 2 years that followed, you didn't fight anybody. You didn't even keep all the belts. Now you come back and you fought Wilder and you won the WBC, but you never got the other ones. And you never fought AJ. And look, if you don't fight AJ, that's cool too. But you got to fight the man that beat him then, right? If you're going to be the man, if we're going to remember you as the best heavyweight of this era, you cannot let someone else come along and beat him. It don't work like that. Because that's what I see they doing. That like, oh, if somebody comes along and beats the guy, then Fury is the man by default. No. Now, Fury, you got to fight the dude that beat him. That's how it works. If we going to remember you as the best heavyweight of this era that we in, you got to be the last man standing. Otherwise, it's going to be you and the other guy. Whoever the other guy is. Right now, it's Usyk. But initially, it was supposed to be you and AJ. You decided to fight Wilder. You decided to do that. And Wilder decided to fight you. Y'all left that business unfinished. You let Andy come in and beat him. Then you let Usyk come in and beat him. Now, you got to take care of business with Usyk. It's very simple. You a champion. He's a champion. Y'all both unbeaten. Take care of business.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Haplo from Los Angeles.
Haplo from Los Angeles. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and give a little bit of a different perspective on what I saw. Basically, I watched the fight. I didn't buy it because I didn't think it was worthy of the amount of money. But I did end up watching it, on the stream. I thought, I scored it for Fury. And I get, everyone expected it to be a big blowout because Ngannou is known as an MMA fighter. But I'm not, I'm not with all the massive uproar, that Fury is shit. Now, let me give you two reasons why. One, Fury has always been susceptible to knockdowns. He's top heavy as shit. He carries all his weight up in his midsection. And, you've seen guys like Steve Cunningham, who weren't big punchers, knock him down. Because when someone's top heavy, they can go over. But he always gets up. Okay? I thought he won the fight. And I also think, people are they hate him so much for some reason. I guess because he has an annoying personality that, they want to see his
summarize? Can you please summarize what we got a lot of calls called on that. So I just want to.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just saying, he's top heavy and he fights down to the level of his competition most of the time. That's why you see him struggle with an Ngannou and a Waller. That's my opinion.
All right, shout out to Haplo from LA. Salute, fam. Y'all got it. Y'all got to get to your points and summarize, man. We got a lot of calls calling in. Shout out to Robin Beaver dropping that quarter of a dub. He said, shout out to Ring IQ. Great channel over there. Yeah, man, for sure, man. Hey, Juelz, so my thing is, like you say, he's going to have to fight the other guys. Tyson Fury has a pretty big size advantage over Alexander Usyk. But it's something that I saw, you might think I'm tripping, that kind of scared me that this fight may not happen or it may not happen as fast as we want it to happen, right? It's hard for me to go against a Capricorn. I went against him one time against AJ, and then the second fight, I was like, nah, he going to beat AJ after the second fight. But it's hard for me to go against this Capricorn, right? Alexander Usyk. But it's something that he did at that fight that before at the press, kind of like when Wilder, when Fury and Alexander Usyk met face to face, and Usyk just come on, give me a hug. He's kind of like gave him like a nervous hug, and he hugged him one time, then he released him and hugged him again, and Usyk grabbed him and picked him up, and like did him like this here, and then set him back down like it was nothing. And I say, damn, this is a strong ass fucking Ukrainian. He picked up this guy, Tyson Fury, damn near 300 pounds, and he grabbed him and picked him up like it ain't nothing. I wondered would that have an effect on Fury psychologically or not? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I heard that Terrence does that to guys. I heard that Terrence did that to Sean. I think it was Sean he did it to. I remember hearing just not but a few weeks ago that he kind of picked him up a little bit. And it was a measuring tactic almost to see if I could bully him. Let me see if I could bully him. Yeah. Terrence did that to Sean. And when I saw Usyk do that to Fury, I took that as a message like, yeah, you 270 something pounds, but you 270 something pounds of water and fat. That's what you are. That's not muscle. That's nothing. It's nothing functional about your 270 something pounds. That this dude is 6'3", and he was able to lift you off your feet and shake you. And you about what 6'7", 6'8", 275. That's a message. That's how I took that. They're like, yeah, you tall, boy. You not strong. Don't get it twisted. I will fuck you up out here. And when you gotta stop thinking about Fury as the Fury that's a bully, that's smoke and mirrors. That's not real. All of that is predicated on a Wilder fight.
Yeah.
Fury, the real Fury, is Cunningham Fury. The real Fury is Klitschko Fury. That's the real Fury. That if he goes in there, that's the real version. The shit you saw with Wilder was opportunistic. Wow, Wilder has poor balance. He can't fight off the back foot. He's not coordinated. He ain't got no goddamn jab. He don't slip no goddamn punches. He spends the whole 3 minutes of a round trying to land a right hand. Outside of that, he don't do shit. So whatever you saw in all three of them fights, that's not real. That only works with Wilder. With White, you didn't do none of that shit. You was back to boxing how you normally box. Moving lateral, staying behind the jab, and looking to set up the counters. You did the same shit with Chisora in the third fight. So that tells me, in a nutshell, to keep it short, that tells
hold on. Go ahead, Jules.
That tells me, and I know it's going to sound crazy to people, if they fight, I don't just have Usyk winning. I have Usyk stopping them. Because you get knocked down by guys that don't hit that hard. Pajic don't hit that hard. Cunningham don't hit that hard. Forget all that Wilder shit. You done been put on your ass by a guy that never boxed before. Clearly, you getting put on your ass is not a miracle. It seems to happen a lot.
Caller, what's your name when you calling from?
Hey, Coach, this is Jerry from Tampa.
Jerry from Tampa. Talk to me, fam.
You know, I want to add on what y'all just, you guys were just talking about. So, I mean, Fury, he did great beating Klitschko, but he was a lot of people weren't watching heavyweights when Klitschko was fighting. He was near 40 years old in that fight. Yep. And his two previous fights, one was with Jennings, and I forget the guy he fought before that. You could see his age. You could see Klitschko. He wasn't, Dr. Steelhammer. And then after that, he beat Wilder. That's a great win. But we can't forget Wilder started boxing at, I think he was 21 years old when he started boxing. About the same age as Jake Paul started boxing. And then to add on the observation you guys talked about, I'm big on body language. Mm-hmm. If you notice, when him and Usyk met up, they gave each other a little hug. And then Fury, he kind of looked at him and he said, and he asked him, hey, let me give you another hug. And he kind of leaned on him just to show him he was the bigger guy. But when Usyk picked him up, I mean, you could tell in his face he was out of there. But that's all I got for you, Coach.
All right, shout out to Jerry from Tampa. Salute, fam. Yeah, that right there, I was like, listen, I was surprised he picked him up. I said, man, Tyson Fury about what? 700, not 700 pounds. He about what? Damn near 300 pounds?
About 277 when he weighed in. 277, 6'8". But it's like Troy said. I think it was Troy. Most of the weight It's not in the legs. It's not distributed evenly. It's in the trunk. When you look at him, he got chicken legs. He don't got a solid. He don't got quads like Mike had. Big quads to support all that weight. All the weight is in his trunk. So he'll go over quick. He could go over. And I think personally, I see somebody say it in the comments. They said, "Oh, he looked bad before Valine, and this is like that again." No, it's not, because once again, what are you using? The fucking Wilder fight. Everything y'all think about Fury is not based on who he really is. It's just based on the Wilder fight. That's all. This whole thing about Fury being a wrecking machine and being all these things is not predicated on how he actually boxes. It's predicated because he beat the shit out of Wilder, who wasn't that good to begin with. That's what's affecting everybody's perception.
I mean, he beat Dillian White pretty good. Dillian White didn't do nothing, man.
I'm saying, look at how he fought White. That's what I'm saying. He beat White. It's not credit to him. You beat White and he was in the top 10, but you didn't beat White the way you beat Wilder. What do I mean? You got on your back foot. You started doing what you normally do. Moving lateral, stand behind the jab, looking for the counter. You didn't bully him. So that tells me, so you could only bully a guy who has 2 left feet, basically. Because the only time you've ever looked like that, your whole career, was with Wilder. That's it. The rest of the time, you're a boxer. You're a boxer. You move lateral, stay behind your jab, set up the counters, feint, get the guy to bite on the feints. You're a boxer. You're not a bully. And I don't think your tactics, I don't actually think you're a better boxer than Usyk. You're better than big, slow guys. You're not better than this guy. You're not. You don't got a better jab. You don't got better footwork. Even though you could switch to southpaw, you're not actually a better southpaw than this guy. Why did Valine slice up your face? Because you don't like southpaws. Why was Ngannou giving you problems this weekend? Because he was switching us from orthodox to southpaw.
Yeah, styles make fights. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
206, big. This is Boxing Store in 206, Big Brian, man, from Seattle.
Brian from Seattle, talk to me, fam.
What's happening? Was good, coach. Was good, ring IQ. I just want to say, man, Tyson Fury proved everything that I said about him for going on through this Deontay Wilder Fury saga. Everything is based around him versus Deontay Wilder. Nobody was talking about Fury being anything great prior to that. He's the same. He's pretty much the same fighter to me that fought Steve Cunningham, that fought Klitschko. He's a big guy who's pretty mobile with a decent jab for his size, but he ain't shit, man. And the fact that Ngannou was a real puncher, even though he's coming from mixed martial arts, power is power, right? Was able to do what he did. I'm not even really that shocked. It's just it just makes boxing look bad. But I've always thought that Wilder wasn't really Wilder was nothing but a damn manufactured hype job. You know what I'm saying? With hand-picked opponents for his first 30-something fights. Then he fought some noteworthy guys. And he really only beat 2 good people. All right? And as far as Fury's whole career and people basing it off of that, it's like, bro, he's not great. Bro, guys of his size back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, those guys were thought to be easy work.
Yeah,
they were thought to be big-ass punching.
Primo Carnera, prime example. I was like 7 feet tall, but he was fucking fish food, bro. Max Bear whooped his ass. It's on YouTube for those that ain't seen it.
Yeah, Primo Carnera was 6'6" with 285 pounds. He boxed almost exactly like the Klitschko did. And he had an 85-inch reach, 86-inch reach.
Yeah.
All right. And mind you, he has the most knockouts in heavyweight history for sure. But when it came to Max Beer, Billy Conn, Max Schmeling, Joe Louis of that era, they beat the dog shit out of him. To me, what it is, because I'm a summing up because I know that there's people calling, but what it is, we live in the era of statistics and hype and the hyperbole. Oh, he's 6'9", he has an 85-inch reach, he can move. That don't mean a damn thing, bro. At the end of the day, it really don't mean shit, man. So, and I think that guys don't understand the inside or the actual
the intangibles of boxing and the aspect of boxing because it's been so watered down because of the lack of training and skill and actual talent that's in boxing today. And the guys that are actually really talented, they fight once or twice a year and they barely do shit when they don't have a fight. So that's my whole thing. All right. And that's what I'm going to say.
All right. Shout out to Brian from Seattle. Salute, fam. Boxing the story. Let's get the super chats out the way. Shout out to Iffy for dropping that quarter of a dub on your boy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Iffy said, what you say, fam? He said, I can't stand Fury, but he does always bounce back after a shit performance. Usyk did not look that good against Dubois until he gassed. Fury beats Usyk. Okay. Shout out to Raider Reaper dropping that $2 super chat. He said, imagine Ali and Lyle Lozado, the Raiders went like this. Yeah, he did. I think he died. I think he had brain cancer or something from steroid use or something of that sort. I remember that. He played for the Raiders. I think it was a defensive lineman or something of that sort. Shout out to Two-Tone, the superstar, dropping that $2 super chat. He said, Coach, can Usyk take Tyson Fury body punches? I don't know. I think that seemed to be the kryptonite for Usyk. Body shots. It just depends. I really don't know. Now, some people felt that, the fight he had with Dubois was a legal punch, and so some people felt it was illegal because he hit right on the border. But, I don't know. We'll have to see. This is why we need to see that fight. And because I don't want to have can this guy do this, or will he be able to do that if he fights such and such? Well, guess what? Ain't but one way to find out. Let's get him in the ring and see.
I would ask Two-Tone, do you know Fury to be a body puncher?
Yeah, he ain't no body puncher. Yeah, he ain't no body puncher.
And two, a man Fury size with that wingspan, going to the body is a very risky proposition for Fury because then that whole side of your face is exposed.
Yeah. You open yourself up. Open yourself up like that, especially when you're fighting shorter fighters. If you don't time it right and you miss, like you leave all that open. And the thing is styles make fights, but when you're dealing with guys who have really, really good footwork, they feint very, very well. I want to see this fight, Jules, because Usyk has some damn good feints. And Tyson Fury has some, has the irky-jerky style, but Usyk has really, really good footwork.
Timing, bro. It's two things that I see that's going to beat him. The timing, Usyk's timing is way sharper than Fury's, and the angles. He's a better southpaw than you are. You a good southpaw against some orthodox guys. Yeah, you are right. This guy's on another level with his shit, and you're not actually more coordinated than he is. What you are is you fight a lot of big, slow guys with heavy feet, so because you can move a little bit, yeah, you do okay. You don't move better than this guy. In fact, I don't think Fury does anything better than this guy. All he got going for him is that he's bigger. That's it.
He got to reach. He got to reach. He definitely got to reach.
He got reach. Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna matter because that's another day at the office for Usyk. He's used to that. Or see what I'm looking at is Usyk is used to dealing with a guy that's bigger than him. Are you used to this dealing with a guy like him? I don't think you are. And you said it yourself on the Joe Rogan podcast. It's not the big guys that give you problems. It's them little guys that give you problems because the target is small. So, we'll see. We got to see.
Shout out to Mr. Calderon. Mr. Guanacaro, salute, fam. Dropping that dub on your boy. He said, what you say, fam? He said the dream team of boxing in one channel, Juelz and Coach. He said all you need in the boxing world. Hey, yo, man. Hey, Jules, I was watching this video. It was a video you did. I was watching it today, actually. I think he was breaking it down, this particular subject matter. As a matter of fact, that's why I came up with this subject matter after watching your video. So, I think we dispelled up this greatest heavyweight of all time myth. In your opinion, after the Tyson Lennox Lewis era went away, right? What happened to the heavyweight division after that? I know we had the David Tours and Ike Buche. He had went to prison and stuff like that. Holyfield, James Toney moved up and Fat James Toney fought Holyfield and all that stuff there. But then we have of course, the Shannon Briggs and all that stuff there. But what happened to the heavyweight division after that? Like, it used to be in America. I tell you what. American boxing, the heavyweight division used to be America, yada, yada, yada. Now, it seemed like once I our heroes kind of, retired or whatever, the Klitschko era came about. Vitaly and Vladimir. And I remember this yesterday. Like, I stopped watching the heavyweight division. Like, it wasn't a popping division anymore. I was watching more of the De La Hoyas, the Manny Pacquiao.
Two things, bro. It was two things. One, Floyd and Manny in that era it's a combination of things. One, Americans were not big on the Klitschkos, but also you had Floyd and Manny monopolizing all the attention. And not just all the attention like in America, all the attention in the boxing world. Everything was about Floyd and Manny. So even if American eyes shifted away from the heavyweight division, they were still on those two guys. And the reason that things kind of started to change in the heavyweight division is because once the Iron Curtain came down, when we were young, you started seeing Soviet fighters and you started seeing fighters from that region of the world that you were not seeing before. So that's more or less what affected the landscape in the land of the giants. And even now, it's predominantly a European, Eastern European division. Predominantly it is. It's either European or Eastern European. There are very few Americans at that weight right now. Some would say that it's because most of our big men play other sports now. They might be linebackers in the sport of football or something, or maybe they'll get into basketball. Whereas the big men in Europe, they tend to get into boxing. They tend to get into the Olympics. And in a sentence, basically what changed the landscape at heavyweight is when the Iron Curtain came down, all those fighters and all those kinds of people that you wasn't seeing before, you started seeing them. That's literally what Rocky IV is about. And I think that goes over a lot of boxing.
Yeah.
That's literally what that's about. Like, if you think about, why is he fighting a Russian? The whole story is set because the Iron Curtain came down and now Russia would be able to compete in professional boxing. That's that whole story in a sentence. And that's what happened to our heavyweight division. That, you're seeing less and less Americans because the Eastern Europeans are taking it over.
And so the thing is, a lot of people in America, it's like, because I go to barbershops all the time, talking to my friends, they really don't know any heavyweights. They know Wilder and what Wilder doing. They know Wilder and Tyson Fury. And they say, well, yeah, they got the other dude, the Ukrainian dude. They know Wilder, they know Tyson Fury, they know Anthony Joshua. But I think outside of that, they really don't, they really don't know much of anything about the heavyweight division. It seems like the lighter, smaller divisions are kind of like doing their thing. But what I see is it's different from when me and you was growing up watching boxing than it is now. Now it's more. Some of these guys, a lot of these guys, they don't want to fight each other, the top guys. It's more, we don't need to fight the top guys anymore. We trying to chase the bag. But that's only a handful of fighters. Like, the rest of these guys are blue collar fighters, Juelz. It ain't a bunch of Tank Davises walking around in boxing. It's not a bunch of Terrence Crawfords or Wilders or whoever walking around, whoever you may say the top guys are. Most of the boxing is blue collar fighters. Hold on, let me answer this call, and I want to piggyback on Oshaki Foster. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Sheila from Cali.
Sheila from Killer Cali. Talk to me, sis.
Hey, Coach. What's going on? I just wanted to comment on, piggyback on what someone has said, the caller that said that Tyson Fury won the fight. I'm just wondering how. Was it because of punch count? In my mind, how does he think that he won the fight? Because when I watched it, it seemed like Francis had more cleaner shots, basically. And Tyson may have a bigger output. Is that why he would say something like that, do you think?
I mean, it's subjective to him. So, I mean, he feel that Tyson Fury won. I think Tyson Fury did land more punches, probably by a few. I don't think he landed by a whole lot, but I think he totally missed the point. Sometimes just because you land more punches doesn't necessarily mean you win the fight. It's effective punching as well.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like he won the fight after it was over. I didn't feel like Tyson Fury won the fight.
Yeah. It was like he was relieved
I
that he
didn't
got the
either.
decision, But
you heard what his dad and his father said. Oh, we got the win anyway. Like, we just got the win. They knew that it wasn't pretty. They knew that. But we got the win. Well, I guess so. But yeah, that was just kind of weird. I don't know. And then it's just amazing how it kind of upsets me a little bit how boxing has moved its business. Now it's not like a sport. And even Dewey Cooper said that after the fight. If you guys watch his commentary, he said it's more about business. He couldn't have won that fight. They wouldn't have won. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They wanted him to fight Usyk, you know, and even Usyk had a look on his face like, wow.
I mean, yeah. He wasn't, I mean, the fact of the matter is this here, and that's why I'm not in an uproar about it. I'm not, oh man, Ngannou got robbed, this and that. I'm not in an uproar about it because I knew before the fight started that he wasn't going to win this fight.
Yeah.
There was no way he's going to win this fight. Yep. I mean, this guy has a 0-0 record as a professional boxer. He's a novice. His first professional fight. He's not going to win a fight against Tyson Fury after there's a fight already signed for him to fight.
That's what makes it.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's what makes it so unfair, and because they weren't going to give him that fight unless he knocked him out. That would have been it.
Yeah.
If he had knocked Tyson Fury out cold, then that's the only way he'd won, in my opinion. But okay, well, thank you for taking my call, guys.
All right, shout out to Sheila. Thank you. Cali, stand up. Yeah, you know what, Juelz? I mean, let's be real. Let's just be honest. The man wasn't gonna win the fight anyways. You know, a bar knockout, and they probably told him, "Look, don't knock him out." Hey, shout out to Bossy Jim. For dropping that half a dub on your boy. He say salute, coach. Shout out to Ring IQ, 2 channels I rock with. Yeah, man, Jim, salute, fam. Shout out to Iffy for dropping that $2, dropping them 2 pounds on your boy. What did say, fam? You say it's because we are in the padded record era. I mean, yeah, some people.
Look, I'll say this. It's not that we're in the padded record era, because as much as I was a Chavez fan when I was a kid, his record was padded. Joe Lewis's record was padded in spots. It's a great record.
Caller. Yeah, you're right.
Great record, but he literally had a bum of the month club. You know, they just fought more often back then, so the records were padded in some instances. It's not really that. It's the dynamic between networks and promoters that's hurting boxing. That instead of just letting them fight, there's exclusivity contracts and your side of the street and my side of the street. And this is the shit that prevents fights from happening. Whereas before, boxing was more fluid. If there's a fight and people want to pay for it, they're going to get it. You know, but that's the biggest difference.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Calling from Buffalo, New York. My name is Jeremiah Zadina.
All right, from Buffalo, New York. Talk to me, fam.
Big boxing fan, but keeping it real, boxing is done, man. Because, like y'all talking about Deontay and Fury. Let's keep it real, man. Deontay cannot box a lick. You ever see he throw his punches, man? He throw them shits from, all he throw is haymakers, man. He don't have a jab. He don't know how to block punches. Or he's just got a right hand, that's it. And if he's giving Fury a hard time like that, and Ngannou is this, that goes to show how Fury is. Heavyweight division been dead since, Larry Holmes and them, man.
Now you talking about the 80s. Well, Larry Holmes came back in the 90s. I don't think the heavyweight division was dead in the 90s at all. I
mean, as much money is flowing through.
Let's go
I mean, that's your opinion.
Lennox Lewis, I'm gonna say, because Klitschko.
Lennox Lewis.
I don't know. I wasn't
go for that. Lennox Lewis,
yeah, Lennox Lewis, because you had Mike and them before that, Mike Tyson, Pinker Thomas, Vander was really not even a heavyweight. He was always a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
At his best.
That's what made Evander so good. He moved up to heavyweight. I remember him and Mike were supposed to fight each other before Mike went to prison, but Mike ended up getting convicted, and ended up going to prison, so that delayed that. And of course, when Mike got out,
I think he would have beat Mike then. I think he would have beat Mike then. I don't
know. I'm a Mike Tyson fan, boy.
I think he would have beat Mike.
He did have the style for it. He was a great counterpuncher. So
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, man.
He was just a warrior, man. He was a warrior.
Yeah, Vander Holyfield was the real deal for real, man. Hey, but salute to you, fam. Buffalo, New York, stand up. Yeah. Juelz, this is what I want to run by you. Check this out. This past weekend, we had a great fight.
Yeah, we did.
Osaki fought. Well, that whole fight card was fire, maybe except for one fight. But that whole entire fight card was fire. Osaki Foster, right? And I say this to the laptop revolutionaries. I said, we got a brother from Houston, from Texas, who fought in Mexico. He was the champion, and he did something that most champions, especially from America, don't do. Listen, I'm going to come to your country in your backyard and fight you, and I'm the champ. Fight you in your own backyard. Let me answer this last caller, then we're going to pick it back off of that. Caller, what's your name and you calling from? Hold on, repeat your name one more time, fam. Where you from?
Big Mafia, Jersey.
Okay, Big Mafia from Jersey. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. How you doing? Well, it's Big Mafia. Hi. So yeah, man. Peace to you, Coach Malachi. You know, I love what you're doing, man. I love this great show. I just wanted to give you a little bit how I'm feeling right now, man. For a long time, I've been observing Tyson Fury, and one thing I noticed about Tyson Fury is that Tyson Fury doesn't tell the truth. He lies a lot. Majority of the time, he's very boastful. Now, Muhammad Ali was boastful, but he was boastful in a different way. He was boastful in a sense where, you know, he also dropped gems. You know, he fought for black pride, black, you know, being black, and he stood up for things, right? And the difference between Muhammad Ali is that he backed up what he said. When he fought somebody, he beat you up, but he didn't say he was the greatest and didn't back it up. And he didn't lie at the same time. See, the thing with Tyson Fury is that he lies about a lot of things. And then he puts everybody else down. Like, for instance, somebody lose a fight, he's the first one online throwing shade at that person. And he puts everybody down. So let me tell you, just the other day when Joyce had that fight, people felt sorry for Joyce. Matter of fact, people like Joyce, right? Because Joyce doesn't do like Tyson Fury. Joyce, you know, everybody talk a little smack when they have to, because it's boxing. But I think Tyson, he wanted to make it seem as if he's the best boxer in the world, for real. And the thing is, he didn't fight enough people to prove that. And the thing about it, Anthony Joshua, I give him mad respect, way more than Tyson Fury. Because Joshua never backed a fight. He never said no to a fight. And it's because he didn't back fights that he lost certain fights. But Joshua fought everybody that they put in front of him. Now, the thing with Joshua is that Joshua lets people get to him, meaning the community, when the community got something to say about him, or when other boxers have something to say about him, and I think he lets it get to his ego, and sometimes it messes him up. I think once he works on that, he'll be one of the best fighters in the world. But the thing with Tyson Fury is, as much as the people, the little people, support him, buy the fights to watch him, he goes on YouTube and tells people
I need you to wrap
that
it up,
are
fam.
like, you know, coach, those people that's talking to him, he tells them that what we have to say don't have any type of bearing to it. And that's wrong, because we're the people who's supporting him and get him where he's at. Without us buying those fights and watching those fights and supporting him, he wouldn't be where he's at. And I feel like the people need to stand up and do what they're doing now to let him know that he needs to bring it down a little bit and come back down to earth.
I got you.
And I think what's happened is calm.
I got you, big man. I got you. I just need to summarize it because we got other calls calling in. But I got you. Go ahead. Now go ahead. I'm going to let you wrap it up.
But that's karma. That's karma. And you want to know something? When karma comes about, if a person doesn't learn from karma, man, I don't know what they're going to say about you. Because when things happen to you, and this is supposed to be a learning lesson for him, and if he's still acting like he's still holier than thou, he's better than everybody, then he doesn't learn from nothing. And when you don't learn from something, man, it's the worst thing in the world. See, when things happen to you, you're supposed to learn.
I got you, man. Shout out to Big Mouth, Jersey. Salute, fam. Brick City, stand up. Yeah, man. Hey, we got all the calls calling in, guys. I need y'all to hit y'all points. I need you to hit your points. Okay, Juelz, I want to pick it. As a matter of fact, let me take these calls off for a minute, because I don't want to be interrupted. Osaki Foster, I want to say this before I let you go. This is going to be quick. This is what probably, I want to say it's a candidate for Fight of the Year. I'm not saying it's Fight of the Year, but it's a candidate for Fight of the Year, especially those championship rounds.
The 11th round, yeah, that's if nothing else, that's definitely round of the year. The 11th round was a great.
Man, Juelz, like them last 3 rounds, man. The 11th round, it looked like Rocky was he got hurt. He looked like he was going to get out of there, but he held his ground and he caught Osaka with a right hook, and that stunned him, and he went back to the ropes. And I'm like, bruh, this is what boxing is all about. And then check this out. The 12th round, one judge had Osaka winning by 1 round. The other two, the one judge had Osaka losing 11 rounds to 0. I don't know which fight he was watching, but even if you had Osaka losing, I get that because Rocky was I know how the judges are in Mexico. They like pressure fighters, but 11 rounds to 0, come on.
I mean, and that's why you gotta. This is the problem with boxing. You got a homegrown fighter, Texas-born champion, has a magnificent fight. But what dominates the headlines in boxing? The circus show, Fury shit. This is how boxing hurts itself. That by all rights, Oshaki Foster is a fun fighter to watch. The Ray Vargas fight was fun. This past weekend's fight was fun. And the support just don't be there when it should be there. Like, yo, look, fuck Fury for a second. How about that fucking Oshaki Foster?
Bruh, Juelz, I dropped that Oshaki Foster video, like, praise the hell out of this dude. Man, it got like 600 something views. That's it. And I'm like, bro, like, and this is the crazy part about it, Juelz. The guys who supposed to be so pro, I'm repping for my people, right? So pro, I'm down with the cause. None of these guys is talking about Oshaki Foster. Look, your brother went in the heart of Mexico from Texas. Where are you Texas boxing fans at? Y'all talk, Texas over everything. We got Spence. We got the Charlos. Where are you Texas guys at? Oshaki Foster went in Mexico. He was down on the scorecards, and he stopped this guy in the heart of Mexico, in front of the Mexican government, in front of the Mexican drug cartel, against all odds, right? I think you know what I'm saying. And bro, like, none of these guys is talking about this. I'm like, bro,
it's the perfect microcosm for where boxing is. Like, at least in America, it's the perfect microcosm. Yeah. Because if Oshaki Foster would have had that same fight, and let's say Oshaki is a Brit, or let's say Oshaki is Japanese, he's going to get his praise in those markets. But in the American market, it's just for some reason, when it really counts, the support don't be there. It just don't be there. Look, Stephen Fulton was a unified champion way before he fought Inoue, but where was the support?
No support.
Foster's been a champion. He's been WBC champion for months, but they don't really talk about him. And there's some great fights for him in his division. Like, if Joe Cordina take care of business this weekend, that's a great unification match. Oshaki Foster, Joe Cordina, IBF, WBC. But that's boxing, man. That's just it's a microcosm for where the sport is, that a circus fight between an MMA guy and a boxer is more talked about than a real fight. Great fight. It's where the sport is at, yo.
Bruh, I'm like, this is who we need. Like, Oshaki Foster. Man, let me take Juelz. I'm going to be honest with you. My prediction was, I thought that Oshaki Foster was going to lose, probably maybe get a TKO stoppage. Or I say if he don't get stopped, I say if it go 12 rounds, he's not going to win. In Mexico, 12 rounds.
That's what I mean. It goes to the cards, and the scorecard show that we were right to think that, because look at the way that it was scored. That if he don't stop him, he gonna lose that belt because Rocky got home field advantage. So it was a great fight. I gotta do more videos on Oshaki Foster. I'm gonna drop off right now. Coach, has been a pleasure. Right. Glad letting me jump on, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Juelz, thank you so much, brother. Salute, fam. Let's get a Ring IQ round of applause.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.